Officer Candidate School, or OCS, is a three-phase, physically and mentally challenging course designed to transform soldiers into the strong and effective leaders sought out by today's Army National Guard.
Left, right. OCS!
Well, in reality, the big difference between OCS and basic is basic, you kind of following the drill sergeant along. At Officer Candidate School, it's all about leadership.
The 18-month-long traditional training program is designed for college graduates and enlisted non-commissioned officers to gain their commissions as officers. The first and most intensive step in the OCS commissioning process is known as Phase 1.
Phase 1 is the most intense phase of the OCS program. It's extremely rigorous. It's physically as well as mentally demanding. You really got to bring your A game to Phase 1.
Phase 1 is a smoker. It's very demanding. There's not a lot of sleep. It's a lot of mental agility that they need in order to get through the day.
You have to be in good shape. There's no question about it. You have to be in great shape at OCS to make it through this program.
A lot of running and moving with a purpose and mental stress.
During Phase 1, candidates will take part in land navigation training, a field leadership exercise, a 5-mile foot march, and cover Army training management and advanced map reading.
For anyone wanting to come here is to prepare, and once you think you're prepared, keep preparing some more. There's not enough running you can do, there's not enough studying you can do.
It's hard in Phase 1, it's demanding, it's overwhelming, and it's meant to be that way.
The percentage of physical and mental, I would say, is 50-50.
It's gonna be rough. It's like basic on steroids 10 times.
Following the mentally and physically taxing Phase 1 comes Phase 2, which makes up the bulk of a candidate's OCS experience.
So the first 72 hours, everybody comes out and they're hard charging and everything else. But after that first 72 hours of less sleep than they're used to, a lot more physical activity than they're used to, that's where you start seeing the difference between who's actually going to make it and who's not.
In Phase 2, they're moving more into a mentoring role.
Good initiative. What if you took initiative and took charge and started signing teams?
Instead of screaming at you to see if you'll quit,
Fix it! Be a platoon sergeant!
they're screaming at you to see if you'll make a decision and if you're capable of sticking by that decision.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. I don't even know where to begin.
Whose bunk is
I don't
this?
even want to touch this.
Scan case. Does this look like a 45 degree angle to you?
Sorry, off scan case. No, sir.
It doesn't look like it to me either. Let's try it again.
When they're marching from point A to point B, and one of my TACs is yelling, hey, you're out of step. Another TAC is, hey, you left the road guards behind, so now you've lost accountability, and you're running out of time. Bill! What is this? Do we not care about the rest of the bunks that are here?
Sir,
this is your barracks. Bill!
What is this?
Why is there lint all in my drawer? Bill, are you kidding me? Come here, Bill. Both wall lockers. Your brain is still trying to process the same thing as if you're a platoon leader out in Iraq or Afghanistan and you've got squad leaders saying, hey, we're out of ammo. Hey, the radio's down. Hey, the medevac won't come in. Your brain still has to process, what am I going to do? What's the priorities of work? It's 21:56. Lights out are at 22:35. You still have the same priorities of work, and rucks have to be packed for the road march. Go!
In the Army, we utilize a 1/3, 2/3 rule, which means that I use 1/3 of the time after I've been given a mission, I use it to plan for myself. And then I give the other 2/3 of the time to my troops so that they can execute my mission.
In the Phase 2 traditional program, it does last about 13 months. You've left for Phase 1 in June, and July of the next year, you'll leave for Phase 3.
This phase covers troop leading procedures, the leadership reaction course, the final field leadership exercise, infantry squad tactics, combat water survival training, and a tactical exercise without troops.
It's a pretty long road getting from Phase 1 to Phase 3. This is probably the most intense, is where we take all that stuff that we learned in Phase 1 to Phase 2, and it's almost one big practical application out here in the field, using all that information and all of the tactical knowledge and implementing it as leaders, taking control of squads and platoons and leading them out on missions, and it's been pretty intense.
I think the hardest part of Phase 3 is that transition.
More working as a team than in Phase 1 and 2. You are responsible for your actions more than ever.
You got to maintain 360-degree security first of all, though. That's our first priority. So fix it.
It's hard for some people to step over the line of being led and told what to do, and now I'm in charge and I'm being evaluated on my ability to lead.
And that's probably the most difficult, is just taking it all together and being able to do it confidently.
It becomes very difficult when you're tired and you're hungry and everyone else around you is tired and hungry, and you have to rise above that and continue to make good decisions.
You're evaluated based on your leadership skills throughout the OCS program. But in Phase 3, the platoon trainers really expect you to take charge and show them what you know.
Are you ready to lead yourself first? Are you ready to lead others? And are you ready to lead outside of the Army life?
So many times I've talked to people throughout my career, and you know what they've said? I wish I had.
By graduating this program, when you leave, you'll have the basic knowledge of a second lieutenant officer. You'll know how to lead from the front.
And when I got here, I realized, yes, this is what I want. It's very challenging. It motivates you. It makes you want to make a difference.
You know, the mission's got to get done, which is the motto here, it shall be done, and you'll know how to get that done accordingly.
I'm already becoming a better leader.
Going to OCS is something that's just not solely for the Army. It's something that you can do in your entire life. This is something that I'm using to make an impact around me.
It's great to watch our platoons and squads come together.
I'll definitely be a better leader. I'll be the best leader I think that I can be.
If it's something you're thinking about, you need to bite the bullet and come give it a try. Maybe you're leadership potential, maybe you're not, but you'll never know unless you show up.